What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Underdog Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Nolan Skeen, alongside Antonio Fiore, Salestrina. Gentlemen, we're back.
It's been a minute.
How we doing?
We're back in the New York groove.
How are you guys?
I'm good. There's been a lot of stuff that has happened that we need to catch up on. So this might be a long one, but
Buckle in.
I like you guys. I like sports, so let's do it.
Number one.
Where shall we start?
What was your favorite move of the NFL offseason thus far?
My favorite move, if I have to pick one, is Davante Adams to the Raiders because it totally fucks Aaron Rodgers.
That fucks, like, that puts a lot of shit wonky. Because
I love that he waited till Rodgers signed and was like,
oh,
all right,
yeah, now I'm out of here.
Get fucked. But, yeah, no, with that, like, Russell Wilson goes to the Broncos, right? And everyone's thinking, wow, they're pretty good. They're probably going to have a top 3 defense in the league next year. And you get Russell Wilson in there. Woo, playoff team, most likely. But then you got to remember, Raiders made the playoffs last year. And then they get Davante Adams. That division is stupid.
I think all 4 teams might make the playoffs.
I said this to Nolan. I don't think they're like trying to, necessarily be the best team in the league, but they're trying to be a very fun team next year.
They saw what the Chiefs did.
They throw the ball like
we're
hell.
done getting pushed around by the Chiefs.
No, I don't think they're not trying to win. Like, don't get me wrong when I say that, but I think their goal is to be a explosive, high-scoring team that can compete with any team.
Absolutely. And
I think the Raiders are trying to win.
they're a team that, like, right now it looks like they're capable of a run.
You don't
Maybe
get a
not
guy
that's
like
gonna enter
Davante
as a-
Adams and not think you can win.
No, I agree.
And Derek Carr plays really well when he's got a lot of
Supporting
a
cast.
lot of people to work with.
And
here.
let's see,
and
now
he's got
he
the
has-
best receiver in football now, and a
and
great
Darren
tight
Waller.
end.
And Josh Jacobs and
Hunter Renfrow
and Hunter Renfrow.
And their defense is only getting better. They're younger, but they're still getting better.
Josh McDaniels is the coach there.
Yep.
Very interesting. He can scheme up an offense. That's for damn sure.
I'm already putting in my future bet for AFC title game, Patriots versus Raiders.
Wow.
Why? Because would that be 20 years ago?
I'm not talking about the phone.
Wow.
I'm not talking about the tuck rule game,
Is it though?
Yeah.
but it would be.
O2, right?
It would.
It would be, and then Josh McDaniels versus Belichick.
You think those two teams are better than the rest of the AFC? Because I can't sign off on that.
I wouldn't think.
I
Those
think the
two teams end
Raiders
up on top at
have
the end.
Raiders have a better chance than the Patriots do,
Oh, I 100% agree with
for
that.
sure, because the Patriots are a little bit scattered at the moment.
So I don't think you could have made a worse trade if you're the Green Bay Packers.
Oh yeah, they got fleeced.
Well, I don't really care about the compensation. Like, so now what with Rodgers? Now he's there taking up 20% of your cap and miserable. Like, great game plan. Like, and now you're going to trade away Jordan Love after you just took him in the first round. So why don't we just go 3 steps backwards and take a receiver in the first round instead of Jordan Love? And then, maybe, in that game against Tampa Bay, maybe we win it. Who would have thought? Maybe someone makes one play for him. Who would have thought?
I think that they've just, because like you said, they're going backwards now.
They literally made bad move after bad move to cover their tracks.
They're kind of fucked.
They shit the bed as an organization all around.
Tagging Davante Adams,
Just pissed him off. At that point, he was like, "I'm not playing for
he
you."
was
guys."
already looking for a bigger contract, and
they'll
they're
make
like,
the
"We're gonna
playoffs.
tag you."
They'll make the playoffs, but I mean, after Rodgers is done, they're fucked.
The NFC is
They might be
NFC's
garbage.
They might be like, I mean, yeah, because the NFC is so garbage now, they will probably most likely make the playoffs. But if they were in the AFC, like with all that competition, they'd be a fringe team at best. You lose Davante Adams, right?
Oh,
and
I
it's
agree.
like, think about how much offense he was.
He was like 30% of that offense. That's not even a joke either.
So if you're to take the Raiders and throw them in the NFC,
That's a good question.
You would put them over the Packers, right?
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
right now.
Oh yeah, I would say the Raiders are the 3rd best team in the NFC. It would go Rams, Bucks, Raiders.
Yeah. I
Honestly,
very much do agree.
4th. 49ers are a better team than the Raiders are right now.
Yeah, they are.
But you could argue somewhere in that ballpark
I just
for
didn't
sure.
think about that.
Yeah. I'm not saying anyone in your division ever.
No. That division's garbage.
And the
South, Cowboys are falling apart.
The South is garbage too.
The South is so bad.
Carolina is a wrong way car right now. Like they don't know if they're going forwards, backwards, or sideways. Like they don't know what they're doing. And then New Orleans is quarterbackless. I don't care that they have Jameis. That's not going to do them anything.
No.
And Atlanta's throwing out Marcus Mariota. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, Atlanta.
That's why Brady came back. Brady was like, "Oh,
He's like, this is
6 free wins."
I think immediately after he saw Devontae leave, he was like,
Well, yeah. I mean, he signed. I think he signed before that, but at the same time, he
was
like,
it?
Yeah, it was before that.
"Oh, I thought I remember it being."
No,
after.
but at the same time, like, you know, you trade Matt Ryan away. I don't like Matt Ryan, but you trade Matt Ryan away. You know, the Saints aren't the same since Drew Brees left. Carolina hasn't been good. Like, why not stay? You're winning your division.
I thought it was weird that they traded him away after losing the Deshaun Watson lottery.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Right? Wasn't it though?
What did you think about that? Like, why now with him? I guess it's probably like a cap situation and all that kind of stuff. Like,
they got a third rounder for him.
wasn't it like last year
Ryan?
the move to trade Matt Ryan? Like,
Yeah, but
Might be a couple years too late.
well, yeah, they had the fourth pick last year. That's why I say that. They could have taken who was left, Matt Jones or Justin Fields.
I believe that people were saying that they should take a quarterback.
Yeah, and then they took fucking Kyle Pitts.
the Colts are good.
We're not doing this again.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. That's not what we're doing.
We're gonna have to do this thing where it's like, okay,
Are we really?
were they better with Carson Wentz or Phillip Rivers? Were they better with?
I want to sidekick Antonio for saying that. Why are they?
Ryan will
good?
be the best out of the three. Actually, no, he fucking sucks. I take that back.
He's
Matt
so
Ryan's
bad.
Yeah. You need to think about the words that you just said.
He is so bad, Antonio.
The Colts signed Julio.
That's gonna happen though.
Julio Jones doesn't move the needle for me no matter where he goes.
Well, yeah.
Well, listen, that team went 9-8 last year, and pretty much Carson Wentz fell apart in that last game.
How much of
So
an
if you think
upgrade
there's
is
any difference-
Matt Ryan from Carson Wentz?
Not much,
Nothing.
but you're talking about still probably a 9-8, 10-7 season. You might make the playoffs.
Yeah, cool. They do that every year, except they're just like new quarterback. Like, give me a new one.
3 quarterbacks in 3 years, but
It's
like
been 6
but all
since-
like not
It was
shit
like
names.
It was literally like Andrew Luck and then whoever they had after that.
Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby
No.
Brissett.
There was a guy in between, and that it was like Scott Tolzien, I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
And then Jacoby Brissett, and then Phillip, and then Carson, and now it's fucking Matt Ryan.
What
You
a
know
weird
what's
mix
crazy?
of quarterbacks in 3 years.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan, yeah.
And you know what's crazy? I mean, besides Andrew Luck, I think Phillip Rivers was the best out of those
He was so
to
far.
have the most success there. Besides Andrew Luck,
They had a
obviously.
they had a really good season with Rivers.
Here's my thing with Indy. It's a third round pick. You need a quarterback. I don't not understand the move on their part, but it's like the Raiders thing. What's your goal? You're not winning the Super Bowl.
I think they may have.
They're not winning the Super Bowl.
They should have traded up in the draft to get somebody.
There's no one really to trade up for. That's the other
That's
problem.
that's a problem, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, like you said, are they really going for like a Super Bowl?
Nope.
No, but
not
like,
against the
if you're-
teams in the AFC.
Do
if
they just
you're
want to show
that-
people that they
if you're
care?
that yeah, I guess. I mean, but if you're that organization too, in a division where you have 2 of the worst teams in football, and you look at your roster, you're like, well, this is a really balanced roster. And nothing on here is really a screaming issue. So you kind of have to do what you can, right? Why blow it up when you have some young talent there?
Yeah.
Was Matt Ryan the best option for them? Because obviously,
I didn't
Deshaun
even
Watson
think
was
about it.
gone. Russell was gone. Did they even try for Russell?
I mean, they
I
probably
think it was more of Russell's choice at that point.
they probably did, but I mean,
I don't
It was
know.
more
The Broncos,
Russell's choice.
the Broncos were favorites to go out and get a quarterback anyway. And I don't know.
I'm just passing on the Matt Ryan talk. Like,
Okay, let's move on to Deshaun Watson because that was very confusing.
confusing.
Yeah, because they came out and said that it was either the Falcons or the Saints, and before that, Cleveland literally came out and said we're not in this. Well, I don't know if Cleveland came out and said, but everyone said, yeah, no, Cleveland's out.
No, it's
So
because
where did they-
Baker posted that apology thing, and the Browns said, "No, he's our starting quarterback. We're not trading him."
It was all about leverage. It was all smoke and mirrors and stuff. It's all reports only get out when people want them to get out.
And I mean, does that do anything for you for the Browns? I mean, I think it does a little bit.
Love it.
You love it
Love it.
because now
they're
it's-
the best team in the North.
Okay, I think so too.
And another team or another division that is wild, pretty friggin' wild.
I think they're the second best team in the AFC. Honestly,
Who's the best? Buffalo.
They could certainly.
Chiefs.
I think it's the Chiefs until we see otherwise. I don't really believe that, but that's the narrative. You got to beat the best to be
I
the
wouldn't
best.
put them over Buffalo yet, and I love that Von Miller signing.
Dude, the AFC is
That was another confusing signing.
stacked, man. Think about the playoffs. It's going to be Buffalo, Cleveland, Kansas City, Chargers.
But I think Cleveland's be very
Tennessee.
good. If Cleveland's a 1 seed, I'm not surprised.
I am.
I'd be surprised.
Well,
Really?
I think
If they
Deshaun-
finish- From where they were?
I think Deshaun is getting 4 to 8 games. He's getting somewhere in that ballpark
Oh, you think he's gonna get suspended?
to start the year. Yeah,
I would.
and
think,
I wouldn't
I
be
would
s-
think 8 at least.
and I wouldn't be surprised if they keep Baker around until the trade deadline.
Right.
But Baker's pissed.
They could-
Dude. He doesn't want to be there anymore.
Tough shit.
They could win 12 games, 12, 13 games.
No, they definitely can.
I could so see Baker
which
holding out,
in
though.
some circumstances is a number 1 seed.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially if the AFC West is being up on each other, then you definitely got a
Yeah.
point. So anything can happen. I just think that they're going to take a little time to get adjusted, but they're going to be clicking towards the end of the year. And that run game in Cleveland, forget about it. Deshaun Watson and Nick Chubb back there, forget about it. They're going to rush for 200 yards a game. Are they not?
300,
400.
Very good offensive line.
a million. I would, if I was them, I would run the ball every play.
And they have Amari. I like Amari. Cooper.
That was also kind of yucky to me.
That was
Before
sneaky.
they got
Before
Deshaun
Deshaun
Watson, it was
Watson.
yucky. I was like, okay.
He's going to have 1,000,000 yards next year.
Now where does Jarvis Landry go?
Packers? You don't hate that. I can tell when you hate something. You didn't hate that.
I didn't.
Aaron
hate
Rodgers.
You
That.
didn't hate it.
Aaron with a little bit of like nice possession.
Yeah,
receiver.
nice little underneath guy. Well, do they go for the double team and do
Wow.
they get
Oh, that's
Odell
true.
and him? But we saw that before, so it's kind of like
I mean, he gets Jarvis. Jarvis would have like 1,000,000 receptions next
he
year.
would literally have 1,000,000.
I think it's crazy that he's even in the because, I mean, everyone was saying like Odell's gonna be there, and he's like, this feels like home, blah blah. And now it's like,
He's not going back.
no, he's not going back. How crazy is that?
Well, it's a business.
Rams must not have been interested.
Well, yeah, they got. I would rather have
Yeah, I
Allen
was gonna
Robinson
say,
than
they-
Odell.
They grab Allen
And Odell,
Robinson.
obviously.
so-
Well, if Odell doesn't get hurt, are we having a different conversation?
Probably.
Probably.
And I bet he has 2 or 3 touchdowns in that Super Bowl. Honestly.
For the parlay.
Yeah, fuck that.
All right, who else do we got? We talked about Allen Robinson.
Trubisky to the Steelers.
Pass.
Trubisky to the Steelers.
Really?
They're just.
Hey,
That's another team.
well,
them and the Falcons are just grasping.
well, he
at
went to the
straws at this
playoffs
point.
with the best defense in the league one year and was good enough with that team to get to the playoffs. So,
I just think his confidence is shot at this point.
yeah, that's a good point.
Like of all the shit that he's taken from that Chicago.
So, it's a weird fit.
It is a weird foot.
Who else we got here?
Well, Russell. I mean, we didn't really talk about it, but
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
They're really
Obviously,
good. The
you said
AFC is
that-
just so good that
That catapults them up from where they were, I think, right?
yeah, they definitely became
Yeah,
a better team
absolutely.
instantly. At the same time,
Seattle instantly goes.
it's
to
just
the
they're
bottom.
so. It's like I said.
yeah, they
there's so
still
many
might be the
contenders.
4th best team in that division. I swear to God, and they're really good.
That's crazy because it might be true.
Yeah, with that roster, like.
Is
They're the best defense in the division, but
How-
still.
But how dumb is Russell Wilson for going to Denver though?
come on.
They weren't trading him anywhere in the NFC, so
But I mean, he had his pick to go anywhere really he wanted to.
name me a better alternative in the AFC. I guess Indy. Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah.
Because, like we said, that division is so stacked. They're the worst team in that division.
That's fair, but then you also have Denver's defense too, and it's like
Amazing.
You did
I
a little-
think it's going to be
you got a
top 3
little
next year.
frisky and you got a little.
I'm
Mile
so
high.
excited to see how that
Their defense
division
is going
plays
to be
out.
nasty.
He
It was
probably
it was the NFC West this year, and now it's going to be
AFC West.
Yeah.
AFC West.
And NFC West is still a powerhouse.
I mean, Seattle.
No slouch.
Seattle's Garbo now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
now they
Russell-
suck, but it's still 3 great teams.
Is Russell Wilson still a top 10 quarterback in the NFL
I'd say that fluctuates.
at this moment?
Well, he had a bad year, but I think he was kind of checked out.
Are there 10 quarterbacks you would take over Russell Wilson?
I mean, if I really thought
I
about
don't
it,
think so
probably.
at this moment. Maybe 5.
Allen, Rodgers, Mahomes, Brady,
Burrow.
Keep going, just easy names. Stafford.
Yeah,
No,
Stafford.
I don't think I would take Stafford over Wilson.
Really?
I don't think so.
What about Kyler Murray?
And I would definitely take Wilson over Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I mean, I would take
I
Deshaun.
mean, Stafford and Wilson are.
I
was gonna say Deshaun, Jimmy G.
I take Lamar.
Not Jimmy G.
I want to see how Deshaun Watson is after
Yeah,
all
he's-
that time away.
I would say Russell is probably like 9th, 10th,
7, 8, 9,
11th, 8th, 12th, somewhere.
that's why I said fluctuates.
Yeah.
Because like
All right.
I can
But
see
how
him in
much
that
of
like
that
8,
too
9
is a
range,
product
but I
of
can see
just
him in like 11,
bad
12.
decisions on the Seahawks' part? They literally just like
I can
self-destructed their defense.
I can sign up with
They
that.
self-destructed.
I
They
can
did.
sign up with that, but at the same time, you have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. You kind of can make your own fate at that point. Like, yeah, they don't love to throw the ball, but when they do throw the ball, you gotta be accurate and make some throws. Do you not?
I mean, and then he had his hand injury. I think this year he knew he was leaving, and he just was
Didn't
completely
care.
checked that whole
Yeah.
season. Because I would be right.
I mean,
we're struggling. Like we're really just grasping in the middle. They were
if you really did know all season you were leaving at the end of the year, like obviously you're not gonna put your 100% all into it. You're a human being. It's in the back of your head. For
yeah.
sure.
I think for sure that he was definitely somewhat checked out of the season. So I'm definitely excited to see what he does in Denver. I think that's an exciting division. Where else do we want to go? Who else do we not talk about?
the
JC
Chargers,
Jackson?
yeah, J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack on the defense.
They're scary now because
He
they
shakes his head. I mean, what more can you say? The offense is fine.
That
The offense
team.
is great.
they fixed the holes that they needed to fix.
Let's see how it plays out.
I mean,
It's the Chargers. Let's see
I
how
was
it
gonna
goes.
say it's typical Chargers, and they'll probably still.
But
find a
I
way
mean,
to miss
what?
the
But at
playoffs.
the same time, what can you say? Because they have one of the best quarterbacks in football now.
That's not an over exaggeration either.
It is not, and
No, and they
they have
just
an
signed Mike
excellent
Williams.
offensive roster, and their defense is
They signed Mike Williams. They still have Keenan Allen on
everything.
contract.
This is the year where everything should work out.
Honestly, yes.
But if you don't win the division, it's not the end of the world at all because it's so tough to win.
Yeah,
it out there.
well, whatever for them. Like the division wild card, who cares? You got to make the AFC Championship game if you're them. I mean, you have to.
I could agree that's the goal.
Yeah, you can lose to like Kansas City in the divisional round or whatever, and sure it sucks, but like you
But at the same time, when are you going to get past?
yeah,
them?
that's the thing. It's like you're gonna run
Because-
into these teams every
right.
year.
And they lost to them. Did they lose to them twice this year, or did they win a game?
Once.
They did win a game. That's
Yeah.
right.
I just think that team is destined for a Super Bowl at some point. I just don't know how long it's going to take for everything to click. I don't know that it's right away next year. I think it might take 2-3 years maybe.
Well, that's the thing is with the way the AFC looks right now is everything can click, and you could not come out on top.
That's
So-
true. You can play your
because
best.
it could be clicking for the Bills too.
Cleveland,
It could be
yeah.
it could be clicking for Cleveland, Cincinnati.
I really liked Cleveland this year.
I really liked Cleveland like last year, but didn't work out.
Like,
But
did-
at the
did
same
people-
time, their roster again. It's kind of like a Rams situation where they just have it all.
Do people forget how good Deshaun Watson was? Like,
I
feel
think
like,
so. I think
I-
people
Oh,
have forgotten.
absolutely.
I feel like
It's been-
people
it's
like
been so long.
yeah, I feel like people are like kind of poo pooing him. They're like, oh,
They are.
just for like some not like they don't say like regular, but just for like an above average quarterback. It's like no, he's
That team went instantly down once he was not playing.
well the
To
other
one of the worst teams in football.
the other thing too is he went into Kansas City and had a 24-0 lead in the AFC Championship game, and I get he did
They
not
blew
win the
it.
game.
Was that the last game we saw him in?
No, maybe.
No, I don't think.
Because I remember he was holding out, right, because they weren't paying him, and then that whole thing came out about these allegations or whatever or whatnot.
I thought there was a year in between.
I thought he played in like a kind of mediocre
Year
with
Yeah.
them where he was kind of like hurt
When they went
on
4-12.
Yeah, remember?
I think he did play that year, and I think he got hurt.
That was that whole video of me and Antonio where we're like, oh
and
my
he
god,
goes
4-12.
4-12.
Yeah, it was.
Did he play?
Yeah,
I think
played
a
that
few
year.
a few
He
games.
played 1 year.
Because
And
that
then he
was
sat.
when in the middle of the year they fired what's his face,
Bill O'Brien,
Brian
Bill
O'Bill.
O'Brien,
Brian O'Bill, yep.
and then Romeo Crennel came. But I don't remember Deshaun playing.
Yeah, he played
Yeah, I
that
don't
year.
I don't know,
I don't know, maybe. And then
but he's really fucking good.
he held out, and they were gonna trade him, and then that never happened because all the shit came out.
Well, yeah.
I think what people forgot is just how much of a weapon his legs were, because there's been so many quarterbacks it's been 2 years since he played that have been running all over the place now, like Allen, Kyler, and Lamar.
He runs as good as any
I
of
was
them.
gonna say he runs as good as any of them, and just as much as any of them.
And he had a year off.
I mean, he's got like the legs of Lamar, and he can also throw too.
He can throw way
Oh my
better
God,
than Lamar.
And he
got
can
a
throw
gun,
way
man.
better than Lamar. So automatically, I think
talented
that puts
passer.
him, if not,
There's
the
not a
same,
lot of
probably above.
There's not a lot of quarterbacks I would take over Deshaun
Yeah,
Watson.
no. When he's played full seasons, he's put up 30-something touchdowns and
Rush
with
for
a decent amount of
800
rushing
yards.
touchdowns. Yeah.
made
But does
made
the
the playoffs with
does
the
the
Texans.
Cleveland curse get to him?
You know, probably. Honestly,
That team just seems cursed.
it's a problem.
Probably.
It's a problem. That team is cursed.
And I
They're
could
like
so see the highlight
right.
of the century being them beating
Kansas City.
Kansas
So
City.
so Chargers and Browns take down the Bills and the Chiefs in the divisional round and make the AFC Championship.
Like, the only one I can see doing that is the Chargers coming up with an upset on Kansas City. That's the only thing I can see.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be such a crazy playoffs. Like I'm already looking forward to.
I hope it's
10
I
months
really
from
hope it's
now.
Buffalo's
Like,
year.
It could like,
So
really hope
long
so.
from now.
Just-
You think about that?
but honestly, tell me any of those teams it clicks for this year. Like it could happen to 5 of them.
So hard to say.
Yeah.
I think the most obvious choice for it to click is Buffalo, obviously. Because
Well, they've been together the longest.
They've been
basically.
together the longest. They know what's up.
They're gonna
They've
get
been
Trey
to these
White
big
back.
games.
They
Yeah.
were the number one defense before Trey White went out,
Yep.
and then you get the experience and still the talent of Von Miller, who was 100% in effect once he got to the Rams last year.
Mm-hmm.
That just kind of like that's what made that defense ridiculous and kind of made that team unstoppable.
All right, and let's talk about this other one. Juju to the Chiefs.
Don't care.
Yeah,
You don't care at all. That doesn't move it at all.
Honestly, if
I don't think he's gonna put up crazy stats.
if anything that hurts them.
They have
No, I'm dead
the
serious.
NFL
Oh,
TikTok
with him
star.
and Jackson.
Ding,
Oh,
ding, 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 ding.
No.
Ding, ding, ding.
He already
Antonio is our winner.
posted. He posted. He's like, we have to do a
Collab. Let's collab. Let's
Oh,
collab.
no.
The Chiefs are not going anywhere. They're going to be the worst team in that division. Let's just call it right now.
Pat Mahomes.
Imagine Juju and Jackson Mahomes before the game just TikTok
They're
dancing.
automatically the worst.
Pat
They're the
Mahomes
worst
is,
in that division.
out
I
with an
don't
injury.
care.
He's gonna be out with a migraine for the entire year. That's what's gonna happen. So I think that was a terrible sign.
He's gonna get hurt this year.
He probably will, and just be like, "Ow."
Ow.
Just be ow.
Yeah, I don't see Juju doing much more than Hardman or what's his face did last year.
I like Hardman. That's the thing. Like I like
Hardman too.
I like
He's
Hardman.
a solid receiver, but like, I just don't.
And they got rid of Pringle. I think he went to.
Ugh, it doesn't matter.
Chicago, I think.
He's just another receiver.
He's just another guy that can run straight
Yeah.
and catch a Mahomes 50-yard pass.
Just another guy that can run routes.
So
I mean, I don't think there's any other big ones.
biggest takeaway from NFL offseason for me, Cleveland is a legit Super Bowl contender. That would be mine.
I'd agree.
I think mine is that.
So are the Chargers.
Oh yeah.
I think that mine is that the Vegas Raiders really are buying
Are
in
going for it.
and are going for it. They could have easily gotten rid of Derek Carr
And went the
kinda-
other way.
And went the other way.
Yep.
They said, nope, we're going to buy into this guy. We're going to give him weapons. We're going to build up our defense. And we're going to give him one of the best wide receivers ever. So I think I'm excited to see it. I think Derek Carr has – I've always been a Derek Carr guy. I think
You have been a Derek Carr guy.
Absolutely.
he's been a consistent quarterback. I don't think he's really fucked up. You know what I mean? He's
No.
never, like, hurt them in any way. He's been consistent.
There's
I think
never been
he
a
had
time-
one of the best completion percentages last year, I think, right?
Yeah.
Right. No, has there
One
ever
of the
been a
best in the
time in
league.
like the last 5-6 years where you've said Derek Carr's a problem for the Raiders? They gotta move on
No.
from him. No.
But also, too, I've never been like, oh, Derek Carr is carrying this team.
no.
But, I mean,
She didn't play his ass off.
they have
he was an
big
MVP
names.
candidate one year.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens. See how Josh McDaniels does. And you love the first-year head
I
coaches.
do love the first year head coaches.
This is a second go at it.
Even though it was a flop the first time, I like this time around.
so
I do.
I gotta say about Josh McDaniels, I do have to say this. He did lead Tim Tebow to the playoffs. I almost said the Super Bowl. That would have been something. But he did lead Tim Tebow to a playoff win,
The highlight of Tim Tebow's life.
and that's definitely an accomplishment that you cannot say it's not. Just the guy can barely throw, and he won a playoff game with them,
All right.
and it's the Steelers.
And that was when the Steelers were really
Yeah,
good.
that was when the Steelers were the Steelers.
Like, the Steelers choked that game.
So I'm not saying Josh McDaniels won that game by himself, but it does.
But we will give him some credit.
he's got some. He gets a slice of the pie.
But does this mean we also have to give Matt Nagy credit for getting Mitch Trubisky to the playoffs?
No, he's
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
so incompetent. It's not even funny.
Well, he was an offensive-minded head coach on a team where the defense carried them to the playoffs. So
exactly.
he's ass.
All right.
And they didn't even win one. They didn't.
Wait, what was your takeaway from?
Yeah, you didn't really give one. You kind of just agreed.
What's your big takeaway from
Tom
all
Brady's
this?
throwing 45 touchdowns at 45 years old.
I
I don't know.
Yeah,
if
let's
it's, I
talk
don't know
about-
if it's an
Let's
appropriate
talk about the
takeaway.
Bucks.
But
don't think there's much to talk about. I think they're just going to win their division and
probably make the NFC championship.
Yeah, muddle their way to the NFC championship game, and then at that
against
point,
the Packers.
yeah, against the Rams or the Packers, and at that point, it's just
there are probably going to be times in the year where people say, "Oh, what's wrong with the Bucks?" These 3-4 weeks.
It's another Tom Brady season.
Yeah, but then like the
They'll
conference is so bad that where
they'll
it's like they're going to play right at the right time.
They'll start 0-2. They'll lose to like the Saints in New Orleans and lose to another good team, and the sky is falling, and then they finish fucking 13-4. Like, cool.
See, I don't like I said before. If he was to come back, it'd be like this farewell tour type thing. I don't think he likes that.
No, he's not going to.
That's how they're gonna
He's
make
not
it
going
all
to say
year.
that this is his last year.
No, but that's how they're gonna make it all year. They did the same thing to Eli Manning.
I don't like.
I
this.
never once heard Eli Manning say, "I'm retiring." Did you
No.
ever once? We talked about this, but did you ever once hear
I
it?
don't like that he came back.
I don't like it either.
I thought it was the perfect game to go out on, and I said that on
I
the
agree.
last podcast. It just made so
I
much.
agree with that, but I'm happy he's back.
Yeah, no, the NFL is so much better with Tom Brady. I'm not taking Tom Brady out. I just thought for Tom Brady's narrative and how Tom Brady is to go out fighting, scratching, and clawing against the Super Bowl team that won, and you left it all on the field. You left everything out on the field. You looked great. You might have had a bad first half. Your team lost by 3 points. How much more do you want out of the NFL? You've done everything. What are you coming back for?
I don't like that he came back and did the whole Brett Favre thing.
He shouldn't have done that. If he was going to stay, just stay.
Right.
Was it to not fuck Schefter over?
Because his whole thing too was, I mean, fuck.
Or does he not care?
I don't think he cares about that. But I think it was just because he said it all the way. He's like, I don't want to quit knowing I can still play.
Yeah.
And I think what we saw last year is that he can still play. He's still the same Tom Brady that we've seen.
Second MVP.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Second in MVP votes, had fucking 1 million touchdowns, broke the Tampa Bay yards record. I think he saw that he can still play, and he saw he's in a weak division. He saw Russell go to the AFC. He's seeing all these moves. He saw Devontae was unhappy. Didn't get moved yet, but he saw that he was unhappy. We see all the turmoil that Aaron Rodgers brings. He's like, you know what? It's me and the Rams is what he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
So why not give it another go?
Yeah.
He wants his revenge.
I mean, I get it, but my point is you have 7 Super Bowls and you fought your ass off in the last game.
What's 8? What's 8? Right? What's 8 Super Bowls?
Seriously.
It's just one more than 7.
Yeah.
7 is already ridiculous, and now it's just one more.
I guess.
I guess he really wants that Peyton Manning send off.
Does he just want to breastfeed Patrick Mahomes? Is that his goal? Does he want to just play him down and beat him down?
I just I don't get the pros of coming back, but I get it.
I'm not Tom Brady, so I'm not gonna sit here and say what the fuck is he doing, but
He's got to just love it that much.
I guess.
Because
If-
then it
when
makes
you-
Well,
it-
yeah, you don't eat like that and train your body like that and put
Yeah.
that much money into your body if you don't love it.
When you think about it that much, like you guys just said, when you look at the pros and cons, there's not really a reason to come back. And what's 8? He just loves that shit.
Yeah. He also probably hates his kids.
you see all the memes.
Tom Brady after spending 5 minutes with his
It's like
kids.
Tom Brady got into one argument with his wife and said, "Fuck this," and went back.
Ugh.
And then it was the grayed out picture of him and said, "Fuck them kids," like the Jordan thing. I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, I'm happy that he's still around and we still get to watch it because it's been such a show. But I think it also takes away from when he actually does retire, because when Brett Favre, I mean, obviously he's not going to do what Brett Favre did where he comes back 9 times. But when Brett Favre finally did go, no one fucking gave a shit. They were like, you should have gone 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it takes away a little bit from when you actually retire because everyone already did the whole.
That's also true. Oh, we love him. Yeah.
We love you,
That's
Tom.
true.
And now it's like at the end of next year, they're going to be like, okay,
Oh, we love you, Tom.
are you going to do that? Like, are you
Yeah.
going to pull a Brett Favre on us? Everyone's going to wait to congratulate him. And then, you know what I mean? I don't know. Let's move on.
March Madness?
The madness of March. How do we feel about this tournament so far? Because I think it's been
I think it's been exquisite.
it's been
It's
really
been as
good.
wild as the last one.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a lot of overtime games. Obviously that UNC Baylor game.
What a game.
Crazy. Nobody wanted to win in overtime.
No,
That's true.
And the last 5 minutes of the game.
No, the last 5 minutes of the game was just a pure choke job. Like, UNC was like, I do not want to win this game.
I mean, that UNC kid, he took the dumbest foul I think I've ever seen.
That was crazy. I can't.
Antonio, do you know if he's out for the next game?
Yeah, flagrant 2. Are you out for the next game in college? No, right? See,
Google it.
at first,
Can you Google it?
I thought it's like high school rules, huh?
Right? Because I thought that's what it was too. I mean,
know
we
in high
might be
school, you
completely
get a flagrant
wrong.
too. You're maybe he's out for a half.
That would be stupid.
I don't know. That's how.
I didn't like that.
Well, I think that's how it was in high school. If you get like a flagrant 2, then you would be out for the first quarter in the next game or
I
something.
don't know
like
because
that.
I never
Like you
got
get
flagrant
ejected
2
for
in high
that game,
school.
and then you have to wait.
You have to do some bad shit to get a flagrant 2 in high
it
school.
doesn't say that you that's suspended. It just says you get thrown out of the jam.
Good.
So-
Okay, yeah, that's good then because I think it'd be unfair for him to get.
Yeah, no, I mean, you get thrown out of the game. I think that's severe enough punishment. Like, you can't play anymore.
And with the refs nowadays, it's not entirely difficult to get a flagrant 2. I feel
No.
like in this day and age, but that definitely was a flagrant 2, that foul. But
So we have 16 teams remaining, obviously.
mm-hmm.
Do we have a favorite right now? Who's your guys' favorite at the moment?
I really, man, because it's so up and down. I mean, obviously, since my bracket has Duke winning, I like Duke. I like the way they played.
I like them too.
I mean,
I think it's Kansas. I said it smells like a Kansas here.
I mean,
don't know.
Kansas has the easiest route, I think.
They'd have to play who this week or Thursday?
They got to play. I don't have it updated on here.
Okay.
It's Auburn.
No, they lost.
They lost.
It's a 4 or 5.
Providence.
Oh, that'll be a
It's a
good.
good game.
That'll be a good game.
I don't like Providence.
That'll be a good game, but they're gonna be
It's not a
Providence. Yeah, no, it won't be a blowout.
I don't think it's a blowout.
It'll be like a 7-point game, something like that.
So then they got to do that to get to the Elite Eight, and then they'll probably have to play.
Winner of Miami and someone. Miami and Iowa State.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's an easy game too. So Kansas
So-
in the Final Four at that point.
Kansas, I think, definitely has the easiest route to the Final Four. Arizona has to play
Houston.
Houston, which I think
Houston might beat them.
No.
Houston's they do well.
They
They,
might.
play well in the tournament, dude. That's a good team.
And
So then it
They
most
have
likely
been.
will
They really
be.
established themselves in like the past
Mhm.
like 5 years. Is like
I like their
look out
coach.
for us in the tournament.
Kelvin Sampson, I
Mhm.
think his name is.
I think Arizona has the second hardest route to get to the Final
UConn couldn't
Four.
beat them when they were in the AAC.
Mm-mm.
UConn was
Um,
also.
I was gonna say you're not gonna beat
AAC.
anyone in the AAC.
besides the
They
first
couldn't
year.
beat Cincinnati, dude.
Yeah.
So then we got Michigan and Villanova.
I like Michigan. I think
Nova.
that's going to be a really, really close game, but I think it's a
I do think that'll be a really
I think it's a
close
heartbreaker
game.
for Michigan at the end.
I just think Nova is such a good like down the stretch team. Like they love running good
Absolutely,
sets and they
and
shoot their free throws.
I was going to
well.
say they're the best free throw shooting team
Yeah.
in the country, and that's how you win this tournament
Mhm.
is shooting free throws.
So then
well.
it'll be, if Arizona does beat Houston, it'll be Arizona, Villanova to go to the Final Four.
That'll be a great game.
So, I mean, that's a pretty hard matchup for both teams, I'd say.
That smells like a Nova Kansas on that side. I
Then
like that.
in the East, we have
Duke is listen right now. Duke is so free on Thursday. Duke.
well, that's the West.
Duke. Well, I don't care. Yeah, it's still Thursday. Duke money line on Thursday is so free.
Duke against Texas Tech
Free.
and Gonzaga versus Arkansas. That's in
Gonzaga.
the West.
Gonzaga Duke
Oh,
money line
Duke is
parlay.
getting a point.
Yes, dude. That's what I'm
Oh
saying.
man,
That line is 4 points
gonna bet
off.
that right now.
That line is 4 points off. It should be Duke -3. That's what that line should be. It should be Duke -3.
oh
That's
my
minus
god.
one right now?
I'll bet. I'll
It's
bet
Duke
that
plus
after.
1.
That's getting bet tonight.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Why is it +1?
Thank you,
That's scary.
Duke.
I was gonna say no one seems a little worried.
Duke.
but
I don't care, Duke.
Well, we'll see how if
Are
the
they
line
going?
moves.
Are
but
they going?
They're
is-
not losing the Sweet
is-
16.
I was going to say,
in
is
Kansas last
Mike
year.
Krzyzewski going out in the Sweet 16 against some random
No.
Texas Tech team?
No.
No, not happening. Negative. Home on Duke.
So then Gonzaga plays Arkansas. Then it'll most likely be Gonzaga versus Duke to get to the Final Four.
Duke.
That's
But
a hard
I'm not
matchup.
as confident in that one.
That's a hard matchup, and
That'll be a
I'd be
good game.
excited for it.
Wait, hold on. Does that mean Gonzaga might end up playing UNC at some point?
Yeah, well,
It'd be in the Final Four. Yeah.
Give me UNC in that game.
All right. So then we got the East. We got UNC versus
Because they're
UCLA.
winning.
we're on
They're
the same
winning
page.
Thursday.
UNC.
UNC versus UCLA. I do think UNC wins that. They might win it.
Which that's
I
a
do
good
like
game.
UCLA,
'Cause I
but-
think UCLA could go far as well.
I do like UCLA.
And then we got Purdue versus
St. Peter's.
St. Peter's, which
I love
think-
St. Peter's, but I think we're pouring one out.
so then it'd be most likely Purdue versus UNC to get to
UNC.
the Final Four.
Mhm.
I like Purdue, but we'll see. That'll be another good. Really good
UNC's
game.
beating Gonzaga.
Boiler up.
Yeah, the Boilers.
I'd love to see UNC fucking smoke Gonzaga.
Well, I think
Well,
now
no,
I
'cause we
think
want them to
yeah,
play Duke.
It's gonna be UNC Duke.
What? You're
What?
no,
We
you're not
don't
doing
know.
this.
What? Duke?
What? We just talked about this, dude. UNC versus Duke has to happen.
Yeah, it does.
Even
Yeah,
though
it
I don't
does.
want it to happen, even though I have Purdue versus Duke.
Nah.
And if that's the case, Duke is going to the championship. I don't care.
Oh, if it's Duke, North Carolina, put your home on Duke.
Yeah.
Oh my
No
god.
way.
I
they
hate to
lose
say
twice.
it. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna root for North
Uh-uh.
Carolina every time over Duke, but you're
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You'd like that's a smart.
And
move.
that would be so bad for Coach K to go out on.
Oh.
Yeah, losing to your arch
Oh,
nemesis
To go to the
Twice.
national
in the Final
championship.
Four.
Ah.
as your last game.
lose in the
after you
Final
lost
Four.
your last game at your court named after you.
Where everyone's
To
like,
them.
everyone's literally like just cheering for you the whole entire
There were
game.
even some celebrities there.
Yeah.
The fact that Baylor got bumped helps Duke a lot, or helps UNC a lot,
Mm-hmm.
I should say, because I think Baylor
Well,
versus UNC was a really good game,
Yeah.
and I think that game could have went either way. But if Baylor was winning, then it was Duke to the championship no matter what.
I like
Because
Baylor at the end of the game.
UNC was the only thing keeping Duke.
Yeah, no, that. I honestly still think that was smart. I know it lost, but like as soon as it gets to overtime, you're just like Baylor's winning and covering this game.
Yeah, I
Cause
said
Baylor was a
UNC
five-
had their shot.
Yeah.
They blew it.
Baylor was a 5-point favorite. Whenever that fucking happens, if you have the dog, they lose 99 times
Yeah.
out of 100 in overtime. Like favorites always cover the spread in basketball in overtime. They love that.
Baylor, UNC choked, then Baylor choked on top of that.
Yeah,
They went on a
It was a
30
choke off.
Simultaneous.
38
It was,
to 13
it was
run.
literally a choke
I
off.
choked on my
38,
simultaneous
dude.
choke.
38 to 13 run at the end of the game.
That's absurd.
And going into overtime, I'm like, Baylor's winning.
Mm-hmm.
Going into that overtime, I was like, Baylor is winning.
I think
And then
everyone in the world thought that.
like it was just like
Yep.
they just pooped. They pooped in the overtime and let UNC win. I thought that was crazy.
Sure did.
Baseball, Antonio, happy it's back, obviously.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you're
Um,
too happy about the Yankees news that just came out.
Oh, what about like the?
The sign stealing thing.
They've been talking about that for like 2 years. The last 2 years, I read like articles every year that say something about some Yankees sign stealing scandal that they wanted to keep hidden, which is probably real. But
Oh, yeah.
I hear about it every year, and it never is
Amounts
anything.
to anything.
So that I'm not worried about. If it does come out, I'm not worried about it because apparently it was like 7 years ago.
How about instead of any of that, your off-season moves as a Yankees fan?
Yeah.
Getting rid
Not
of
good.
Sanchez and Gio.
That's
and-
fine. Sanchez, we had to get rid of him.
Sanchez was fat.
Right, we had to get rid of him, but he's gonna hit 35 home runs this year, and he's gonna have a great fucking year.
He's really.
I
gonna
remember
hit
having this
35 home runs.
conversation. Where did he go? First off,
Minnesota.
Twins.
didn't we say that?
No, I said Tampa Bay. I
you
said
said Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I said he's gonna go to like a little like fart organization and have so many home runs. Like he's gonna love that.
And now the Twins are a contender, and we gave them two
He's-
really good
no,
players.
he's hitting 30 home runs.
he's hitting 30.
We've slapped the Twins around for years, and they might have just bit us with that trade. But fuck Gary, he had to go. I was sick of him. Urshela, sucks to see you go. Hopefully this shortstop's pretty good. I didn't want to do Correa. I didn't fuck Story. I'm sorry about that contract. I am sorry.
I have no problem with it.
I think it leaves
had
leaves
to-
their hands a little tied for.
So I think they're a little bit better than they ended last year, but they didn't make significant enough moves at all. They won't even entertain the idea of having Gallo in center field, which I wish they would have gotten rid of him, but let's try it. They want to put Judge in center.
You literally
and still have Gallo
you literally
play
have
right.
the same team except it's Donaldson instead of fucking Sanchez now. I know he doesn't
Yeah.
play pitcher, but
Donaldson.
and Keener Falafa.
Yeah, he's. I
Falafel.
think he bats like upper 270s, 280.
Yeah,
He can play good defense. I think he's fine because they're big on this dude Volpe in the minors.
Okay.
And he's one of the top 10 prospects in all of baseball, so I'm all for it. I didn't want to invest, like I said, Story. I was fine without Correa. I would have liked Seager. I was disappointed we didn't make a move for Matt Olson. I'm not mad with Rizzo being my first baseman at all.
No, I think Rizzo's a good signing.
I think he's a great signing, but could have been a little better.
Why
do you not like
Story?
Yeah, Sal, let's hear your take on Trevor's story.
I also think
For
it's
the
a
Red
weird
Sox.
fit for the Red Sox.
It is a weird fit for
I
the
think
Red Sox.
I think it made sense because second base is a black hole for them. So,
Well, right. Ever since Pedroia's been gone,
Yeah.
it's just been so in and out. If
so
you could establish,
why,
him at
yeah,
that
why
spot.
not have someone there? And this gives you leverage for Xander, where it's
I was
like,
gonna say, well, he's a lifer.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I don't think he's necessarily one to be like, I'll take the team friendly deal and come back. And I'm not saying Xander's a bad person for that, but like go get paid. But I don't think he's gonna give like a hometown discount to the Red Sox. I think it's like 6 years and $250 million or 7
Well,
years.
a lot of people think that
million.
they're playing it safe, right? Because Trevor Story is a shortstop. He's
Yeah,
learning
I mean,
second base
yes,
on the
you-
fly, so they're kind of building it for if Xander leaves,
Yeah.
they have a
Story,
shortstop.
Story could play shortstop next year. I'll take Xander on the Yankees. I'll take Xander on the Yankees any fucking
No,
day.
Xander
the
would
funny-
go to the Yankees.
The funny
dude.
thing is, if he went to the Yankees, he'd be so bad. Because anytime
Yeah.
a Red Sox player goes to the Yankees, they're always
Johnny
there.
Damon.
Jacoby Ellsbury.
Johnny Damon won a World
Jacoby
Series
Ellsbury
with the
disappeared.
Yankees.
Yeah, just left the
Johnny Damon was all right. He won a chip with us. He was a starting center fielder.
Okay,
on
yeah,
that
but
team.
you're like one of the best fucking teams ever.
Yeah, Johnny Damon was like your 14th best player on that
Well,
team.
yeah, but he started. He was a starter.
Sure.
Johnny Damon still is a badass for having a
Yeah.
Red Sox ring and a Yankees ring.
He is a badass.
I
for that.
think so. I mean, Story obviously in Fenway is going to be. I think he'll be pretty good, especially with a smaller field like that. He's going to have a lot of fun with that left field.
I mean, you've seen a spray
also,
chart, right?
huh?
You've seen a spray chart, like of where his balls go
No.
after they're hit. It's like all towards left field.
Okay. Here's the other thing.
They
His
definitely looked at that.
his
too.
stats between home games and away games.
Yeah, he bats
be
terrible on
worried.
the road, but maybe it's just he's comfortable at home. Maybe he bats really good at Fenway Park.
Well, you got to think about Colorado. The high elevation.
No, I know that's the theory, and it's probably supported.
He's not great hitting for average, which obviously I don't like. I wouldn't have needed any more of that on the Yankees. Red Sox probably a different story. They have they always have a top 10 offense.
Different story.
Nice
Good one.
catch. The Red Sox always have a top 10 offense, so it's not like
That signing did not.
still a good signing.
I-
I think you overpaid for him in 6 years with him.
What was it? 6 for 180?
140.
No, it was like
Yeah,
180.
it was like
Oh.
180.
Sure.
I think
30
a lot of what I saw from Red Sox fans was, well, why couldn't you pay this to
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts?
Right? Best player in baseball? No.
And he was the MVP at the time.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I'm not that.
That was so. I mean, whatever. I think they got Trevor Story more for his. I want to say defense, but like
not really.
it was kind of, you know what I mean. They're not like saying
It's just
like
a backup plan.
They
That's
got
all it
plenty.
is.
Hey, they got plenty of guys that can hit for contact. So there's your power bat.
And I think
I mean,
that's
to
what
have
they-
Trevor Story as like your 6th hitter too, it's like why would you not do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
'Cause
that they've never been a team to like be like.
Realistically,
We're gonna
the
hit
middle.
1,000
Yeah,
home
realistically,
runs.
in the middle of that order, it's fucking Devers, Martinez, and Bogarts. So it's like put Story 2nd or put Story 6th, and you sandwich all 4 of those hitters, and you got a great lineup right there.
Definitely made it better.
I'm happy we don't have to face Schwarber anymore.
That one hurt. I
That
really
was
like
fucking
Schwarber.
scary.
I really like Schwarber.
Now he's back with Bryce Harper.
That's an interesting team because that team wants to play 11-10 every game or 10-9
Yeah,
every game. That's
but
And you love the Phillies.
I love the Phillies.
Yeah, but
Salad-
I don't know
hard
why.
on for the
I have,
Phillies.
I have like weird teams. Like I just like love like little teams.
they're
So just,
good.
like,
This might be the year for them in the wrong year because the Braves.
the Mets are gonna be so good.
The Braves. I was gonna say the Braves and the Mets are. That rivalry is gonna be back this year, and that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Matt Scherzer's just gonna bark at people.
He does that anyway.
No, he just gets off the mound. He's like,
Braves and
He
Mets.
barks at people in the street, dude.
Braves and Mets are going to be alive and well, and that's going to be awesome.
he barks at his wife when he wakes up in the morning. He just looks at her. He's like,
He never says a word to her. He
no,
only
he
barks
loves
at her.
snarling in the mouth. He'll do one of these.
Freddie Freeman to the Dodgers.
I mean, the Dodgers have unlimited money. That's
Fuck
what
them.
it comes down to.
Yeah, how good are the Dodgers at like trolling?
No, they literally, it's the U.S. Federal
here's the
Reserve.
thing.
That's what their fucking stadium is.
The Yankees.
They just print money in the fucking basement.
The Yankees have full
have
capability
gold
of
bars.
doing that. The Yankees have
They
full
have full capability
what
of
the
doing
Dodgers
that,
do.
yet they
But
still don't. They never do.
Well, if you're Brian Cashman, this is easily your worst offseason you've had as Yankees general manager.
Oh yeah.
You didn't. There has not been significant.
Yeah, I was just
changes
saying,
from
what
last
did you
year.
really accomplish this offseason?
Nothing.
Nothing.
At the end of the year last year, every Yankees fan and every guy on like sports radio, and even the Yankees like home announcer, like Michael Kay was saying, there has to be personnel changes, or people are not going to show up. They got a little bit while longer to try and make a big move, but who knows?
I just love that they got Garrett Cole and like it just
Why-
it did nothing.
Why didn't you sign Bryce Harper 3 years ago? Why not? He was made for the Yankees.
Yeah, they're like the Dodgers.
Why
bro. They
did
can
you
literally
not
do whatever
do
they
that?
want. The Yankees should be the Federal Reserve, but the Dodgers are just
No,
like,
the Dodgers are the Federal Reserve.
like we're in LA, dude. Come
yeah.
on.
But yeah, no, the Braves and the Mets are now.
I don't
the
even
Braves
thi-
are awesome.
I don't even think the Braves are like. Well, they did Acuna back, but I just don't think they're gonna do what they did last year.
They got Matt Olson and Acuna back. That team's amazing.
Yeah, I know, but no.
And I think the Yankees should be a little bit more pissed that they're
Don't
probably
make the
not.
playoffs with this new
Yeah,
format.
no,
100%.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying I don't think they're the best team. I think the Mets or the Dodgers
I was
are.
gonna say I think the Mets are better than them.
Yeah, and I think the Yankees should be a little bit more pissed that they're not the best team in New York anymore.
They might be the 4th best team in that division.
That's facts.
The Blue Jays and Rays, as far as I'm concerned, are still above the Yankees. Yankees and Sox right now, I'd probably say are about even.
Probably.
But I really think we're looking up at the Rays and Blue Jays.
What else is there to talk about?
Well,
There's the NHL trade
Blue Jays
deadline.
got Matt Chapman, so the A's just like
There's
to
the
give-
NHL trade deadline, but no one really cares, so we don't have to go into it.
Oh, Bruins made some signings. They gave they gave that guy a big extension. What the fuck's his name?
Hampus Lindholm,
Yes.
which I think was appropriate. I think it was. He definitely deserves it. He was the best defenseman to get. I think Bruins fans are a little pissed that they didn't add more to the offense, but I think the offense is fine. You have your top line when healthy is Bergeron, Marchand, and now DeBrusque is playing really well. And then they have Eric Hall, and Pastrnak in the second line. Like those are two like anywhere else they could be first line. Like
Right.
like Hall, Pastrnak, and Holla could be a first line anywhere else. I think even interchanging Coyle with Holla. I think
they can pretty much do whatever they want with that.
like Coyle's been playing really well, and I think their offense is just fine. They have a good goalie. Still yet to see what he does in the playoffs. We'll see. He still hasn't been there yet, but I
for a
mean,
run.
it's
Hope
got to
for
be
the
a
run.
first for everybody, right? So we'll see how it goes. They're
hey,
tied with
maybe he
Toronto
gets
right
hot.
now, and they're 1 point away from Tampa Bay. And I mean, Tampa Bay I think has 2 games in hand, but Boston could easily jump Toronto, and I think Toronto didn't really do much at the. I forgot who they got at the trade deadline. They really didn't do much. So yeah,
Gotta hope for a hot goalie come playoff time. That's.
That's where Swayman comes in.
Swayman's been consistent all year, so I
I
think
was gonna
it's.
say you've seen goalies that aren't per se the top tier ones in the league get really hot in playoff time. And
That's
that
why
team
I'm
just
excited
goes
to
on a
see what he
run.
does in the playoffs. I'm excited to see if he's just a really good regular season goalie or if he actually has that like. Because with goalies, it's weird. You got to have like that next level that you can go to. Like Sergei Bobrovsky definitely has it. Andrei Vasilevsky has it. Who else has it? Marc-Andre Fleury has it. Where they are just able to go to a next
Quick.
level. Jonathan Quick has it. I think Minnesota to me has made the biggest splash, and I think that they added what they needed to. They got a Hall of Fame goaltender, check. They got help at forward. They got help on defense. They are ready to
Who
rumble.
did they trade for goalie?
Marc-Andre Fleury. He went to Minnesota.
He went to the Wild.
hmm
They're good.
So I think Vegas is in my mind, dropping out of the playoffs.
I think they're going to.
And I think that they know that. And I think still giving up Marc-Andre Fleury was a baffling move to me. They gave him up for nothing. I think they gave him up for like a conditional 3rd-round pick. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Vegas?
Right. They went all in on Leonard.
I was gonna say if they
That's
didn't
ridiculous.
trade Fleury and they make the playoffs, that's your backbone.
They made a bad bet. That's all it really comes
Terrible
down to.
bet. Like,
That
you,
really
like,
is.
and even at the time, people were like, "What are you doing?" It's not even like, "Oh, people." It's like hindsight 2020. No.
No,
People told you were dumb when you did that, and now you look even dumber. So, and Minnesota's gonna leap over Vegas in the standings. Vegas is gonna be out of it.
Minnesota.
It's gonna be, I think, Nashville and Minnesota probably. I mean, we still got like
15 games.
18, 15, something like that. So we'll see.
Couple more weeks.
That's weird. Approaching April.
It's almost Stanley Cup time.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
NHL
can't
and
wait.
NBA playoffs.
This is a nice little like fun part of the year. Like March Madness like kind of ending, and then it gets really nice outside, and then it's like laid out till 8 o'clock, and you're like, ooh.
We go through that like really depressing time when football's gone.
The depressing time when football's gone and like the clocks turn
That was the
forward,
worst.
like that month and a half.
Yeah,
it's like
from like the first week of February
to like middle of March.
That was the worst
March.
month.
Yeah, you're like
That's a dark time.
Yeah, you're like. Ugh.
Especially if you live in the Northeast, like, and that's just the coldest time of the year. And then you go through it, and you're like, oh. And then March Madness starts, and you're like,
Of course,
the worst.
Of course, both of our birthdays fall in that period too.
Oh yeah, of course. That's just always how it is.
Yeah, no, obviously.
But
Just
now we're in that-
the dead of winter. They're just like, yeah, let's have a son. Like,
Yeah, literally. But you know what? We're over
getting
that
rid of
hill.
daylight savings though.
We're
Yeah,
over that hill. Yeah,
that's kinda
permanent
crazy.
daylight savings.
How's that not bigger news? How's that not?
Well, how is
national
that
news?
like how do they control our clocks type of thing? You know, like how are
Well, okay, so daylight savings was for the farmers.
Farmers.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
I
it's
know
made for
that.
farmers.
There's like 4 of them left, so we don't have to do that
there's
anymore.
like 4?
Yeah, but the farmers are happy because
Bro, this is something they should have done a
Doesn't really
long
matter.
time ago. They've been trying to do this for like 15 years.
That's just so funny about like the U.S. government. They're just like, yeah, it takes us forever to like pass this.
Like something as stupid as not changing the clocks back. And all people hate it for now is like if you're a morning person, you hate it because it's gonna be 8 a.m. and still dark outside. But then it's like,
For
okay,
some
it's
part of the
5.
year.
It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still light outside. It's not fucking 4:05 and it's dark. Like what the fuck?
Some people hate getting up and getting ready for work and it being dark out in the morning. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I don't care either. Like if that's a big deal to you,
You're
like,
still upset that you have to get up and
I
go
was
to
gonna
work.
say-
It's
Yeah,
like, who
I'm more
cares?
upset that I have to
There's
go
no
to work.
difference.
I don't care
If it's sunny
it's
or
dark.
dark.
Too, yeah, either way, it doesn't.
There's no difference in me getting up at 6 a.m., drinking coffee in my living room, and it being dark outside or the sun coming in the window. It doesn't matter.
Because most of the time, those same people get up early enough in the wintertime where it's dark anyway.
Right.
So what's the difference?
Exactly.
And then you go to work and you come out and it's still light out.
Because if
Wouldn't
you
you
have
like
to work
that?
at 7 a.m., then, like you said, no matter what, you have to get up when it's dark out.
Yeah, even if you like work a typical 9 o'clock, like most people
Still, 7 o'clock.
try to
it's
get
kinda
up
dark.
a little bit earlier. Like it's not, older people. I'd say us. We're like we roll out of bed and just leave.
Sometimes
but-
that feels like shit, though.
Yeah, sometimes you want to get up a little bit earlier. You can wake up, maybe take a shower, wake yourself up, have a nice breakfast or something like that. You're waking up at 7:30 or fucking 7:30 anyway. What the
Yeah, I was
fuck?
gonna say, like, no matter what, you're gonna feel like shit, whether you get up at 7:30 or 6:30.
And
It
now it's
sucks
just like
either
it
way.
just gets dark out later all the time, and I'm so
I'm happy
for
with
that. Which
I
I mean,
would
parts of
like-
our country have like I think Hawaii and a little bit of part of Arizona, they don't recognize it anyway. So
Yeah, I think Arizona doesn't. I didn't think New Mexico did either. I'm not
probably
not
I
too
don't.
sure though.
What goes on there? Nothing goes on there.
Well, I mean, again, if you're Hawaii, like, what does it matter?
Yeah, Hawaii is like their
Hawaii.
own. They're like in their own
Yeah, they're doing their
realm
own
over there. They're like most people think of it as like Puerto Rico. They think like you need a passport to go there. They think you need like. They think it's like own
Some
country.
people think we need a passport to go there.
Yeah, there are plenty of people out there. If you did like a random survey, do you need a passport to go to Honolulu? You don't even say it's Hawaii. You just say Honolulu.
People are just stupid in general. That's why they would say yes to that.
Dude.
It's my least favorite stereotype because it's so true that Americans suck at geography, and I love geography. and I know a lot
Americans
about
are
it.
really bad at geography.
So like I'll hear like, and people are like, "Oh, Americans are so bad at geography," and I'll get like kind of pissed about it. I'm like, "You're so fucking right."
You're like, here's Montana. I proved you wrong.
Yeah, they were like, even Americans can't even point out where Britain is on a map, and I'm like, I can.
But then again, what group of people is really good at geography?
I don't know.
Not Americans.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're
Like,
just
I'm
fucking
like,
Canadian, you
yeah, I
just
was
know
like,
where
all right,
every
do you,
single
like-
thing is. Bro, I don't care. You give anyone from the Western world a map of Europe, they cannot name every country. I don't care.
I can give you 80% of them, maybe more, but
You can't get all of them.
I can get like I'll get Liechtenstein and I'll get
Oh
Luxembourg.
my god.
But and when it starts getting Slavic and down in the Balkans, I'll mix up a few.
Right?
Of those.
It's like, dude, there's so many countries over there.
I'd impress you though. I'd kick your ass.
I can do the U.S. pretty well, but it's like,
I'll get everything right in the U.S. I swear to God.
but then it's like, okay, like what use is that?
I don't know. It's fun.
The fuck?
Geography's
the fuck
just-
is it good to you?
I don't know,
You know where the
geography's just-
fucking Slavic nations
Geography's
are.
more fun than math.
Math sucks. Who's like the kid that's like, yeah, math. Like you suck.
Antonio
Yeah.
is.
No,
No, he just.
Oh.
Algebra
was
2 was
listening.
bad. I took all the notes possible, did all the homework. I
No,
didn't pass
Algebra
a-
2
I didn't pass a
Algebra
single
2 was
test.
bad and pre-calc was bad.
Algebra 2 literally took
Why
me
would you
out,
take pre-calc?
and like called me a bitch. It was just like
Yeah.
you can't figure this
I
out.
barely passed.
No, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Like Algebra 1 is like, all right, yeah, common
was
sense,
fine.
like cool, whatever. And then Algebra 2, it's just like, yeah, take everything you know and just toss it out the window. Like we're doing something else.
You know something crazy?
Like,
I
what
was
does this graph
2
have to do
points
with-
away. I was 2 points away from having to retake Algebra 2. I needed and I didn't
I
even
failed
know that-
Algebra 2. I dead ass.
Oh, I remember that.
I
yeah.
dead ass failed Algebra.
I don't
2.
know if I did. I didn't look at my report.
No, I
The
failed-
last day of
You had
the
to go
year.
to summer school, right?
Listen to this. I failed Algebra 2, went to summer school, took Algebra
Oh,
1.
I know you needed to graduate.
I took Algebra 1 because I went on vacation with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because my mom was like, well, you're not going to get credit for the class anyway, so we're going to have you retake Algebra 1 to make sure you know it, and then you're going to take Algebra 2. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I took Algebra 1 summer school. They gave me credit even though I missed a week. I got...
And summer school isn't even that long. It's
It
like,
was 20 days of summer school, and I was there for 15. And they gave me high school credit for that class.
I think I.
and people wonder what's wrong with our education system.
I think I got so like D minuses became a thing like our last few years in high school. I think Algebra 2 I got a D minus, and you needed to graduate, so I didn't fail it.
Let's
So
go.
I passed it. You needed to graduate, so obviously I passed it. I don't know if I got an F or not. She probably gave me extra points at the end.
I remember
She
I
was
needed,
like, "Oh yeah, he can't do it. He did all the homework and he still failed every test. He can't do this."
I needed a 73 on the final in Algebra 2 to pass, and I got a 75.
Wow.
And I didn't even know that until after.
Really?
Yeah, my teacher was like, "Yeah, you needed a 75 or 73."
I'll never forget Cam. Cam took our Algebra 2 final. He wrote down like half of it. He's like, Miss Wise. He's like, I don't know. And he just throws it on her desk, and it was like half done. He was like, I don't know.
Dude, that's the best. Dude. There were so many times where kids would do that.
I give up.
Just
It's
give
some
up in the
kids-
middle and just be like, "I don't know."
Dude,
I
math
don't know.
it just doesn't click with some kids.
No, and that's the thing
It's
where it's
like
like,
that.
no, the thing about math is you can't bullshit it. You can like bullshit a history test or like an English test. With math, you're just sitting there and it makes
English, you
no
can
sense.
bullshit.
English, you could be like, oh, she ran through a field and blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
like the
and-
book reports.
Yeah, like
and
what? Like
all that other
fudge your
shit,
way through
essays.
it. The shit.
My SATs were so lopsided with math and English.
Oh yeah.
It was like I forgot exactly what the points were, but I think I got like 11 something on the SAT, and I think my math score was like a 300 or something like that.
No, math is so fucking useless.
Fuck math.
But my English score was ridiculous. The math was
Dude, pre-calc was the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Name me one time you've used like the Pythagorean theorem.
Not
Not
once.
once
Not
since.
once ever. I've never used it.
a squared plus or no, it's y equals mx plus
Plus,
b.
no,
Is
that's
that-
point slope. It's
Fuck, that is point slope.
uh,
I haven't
Pythagorean
heard point
theorem.
slope in a long time.
Isn't it? It's a squared,
squared
plus
plus
b squared equals
b
c.
squared.
No, equals c squared.
Yeah.
But
What
what's
was
a,
y?
b, and c?
What was y equals mx
Much
plus b?
points
That's
slope
yeah, that's
formula.
point slope formula. Mr. Crisati
This-
loves post slope.
We didn't turn this podcast. If you're still listening now, like I feel sorry for you.
People can relate to this, Al. People fucking hate math.
We even talked about sports in like 10 minutes.
It all comes full circle. This is why we're in our 20s and have a sports podcast.
Because we're talking shit about
because
math.
fuck math. That's
Listen,
why.
but we love sports, so we have to do plenty of math, right? But,
No,
I mean,
I've never done math for sports.
sports. It's
Well,
it's on the
I don't
screen
know.
for
Like
us.
if I have an over, I have to add up the two.
Yeah. Not math I learned in school, but still math.
I chalk
math I'm
that. I
capable
chalk
of.
that to the common sense column,
Right.
adding up two numbers. And half the time you
You
still
said
have to
I
use
did
a-
math.
half the time you still have to use a calculator, don't you?
No, I'm actually like basic math. Good. Once you throw letters in there, that's when we get off topic.
I could do one letter and that's it.
one. No, one letter's fine. When
I'll
you
do one letter.
When you start throwing the equal sign and the parentheses and all that other horse shit, like no thanks.
Try to
Oh,
keep
that fucking
try to keep one
cosine
letter
and,
like I don't want the
what fuck
division.
is that shit?
Tangent,
Tangent,
Tangent.
sine,
cosine.
cosine, tangent.
Oh,
I
don't even remember the names
Check
for half
me
of this
out,
shit.
dude. Even geometry was hard.
Geometry was just stupid. Angel side, angel.
geometry
angel
was
side, sine,
actually
angel
I don't
side.
count stat because stat was easy. Geometry was the only class I ever got anything more than a C+ in math in any quarter.
I hated math so much I took computer programming instead of math.
I took SAT math my senior year after I passed the SATs
Ew.
because
Why did you do that?
I needed another math class.
Did you guys take the SAT more than once?
No, I only took it once.
Sam.
It was
Once.
like the free one that
Yeah,
they
the
made
free
us
one.
do.
They literally said free SAT, and I was like, bet.
Yeah, they kind of like made us do it. They're like, if you don't do this, you're gonna
You're gonna die. You're literally gonna die right
you're
now.
gonna die. You're gonna drop dead.
That's all
I
I
didn't do
have.
terrible on the SATs, but I mean, it didn't. And then once we got to college, is when they started saying we don't care about SATs.
Literally, it was like the year we got in. They were like, "Yeah, SAT scores don't matter." I don't know what they were telling you.
And I was like, so I didn't even have to take that shit.
"No,
All right.
it's all a bunch of everything's just a facade."
Anything else on the sports front?
Sheetal.
Phil Mickelson got canceled.
He's canceled. Yeah, he's done.
Not playing in the Masters.
Masters is soon.
Let me make a bold prediction for you.
Yep. Everyone take their seats.
St. Peter's wins.
Wins what? The whole thing?
Yeah.
That's bold.
More realistic bold prediction. UNC wins the whole thing.
I don't really believe St. Peter's is going to win the whole thing. St. Peter's beats Purdue. How about that?
Okay.
That's a bold prediction.
That's better. We toned it down a little bit.
C.
UNC Duke?
North Carolina, baby.
So then
They
UNC
beat
would
Duke.
have to beat Duke.
They beat Duke. They're gonna beat Duke.
Or if it's UNC Gonzaga, UNC might win the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
I like
yeah.
UNC's coach. I like him. Hubert.
Yeah,
I like him.
he's good.
I like him.
I also love Juwan Howard.
I do like Juwan Howard too. A lot of people hate Juwan Howard. That's the other.
How do we
Especially
feel-
for that incident thing?
I don't
was
care.
like,
How do we feel
what's
about?
the
Oh yeah,
problem
never
with
mind.
that,
They played
bro?
Villanova.
They're
We
just
talked about
scrapping.
that.
Players are allowed to do it on the court, but then the coach can't.
What?
Probably said some fucked up shit too.
Whatever. I don't care enough to even like divulge. Like, who cares? Like, they had a little kerfuffle. Like, they it was a blowout.
Happens in every sport.
The
dude.
Wisconsin coach called a timeout up like 20, and then they were like, "Oh, fuck Juwan Howard." It's like, fuck him for doing that. Like,
Yeah, that deserves a slap in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. But then when you're like, John in the line like that, then you did a little.
But that's probably where they sent him over the edge. They probably said some fucked up
they're
shit.
probably like, how about that timeout?
They're like, all right. Are we good, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Signing off.
Hi. See you later.